Entertalk Radio, you're in to all things music.
May the best brand win with Scott Robertson's Music Biz Marketing Strategies. Now, here's your host, Scott Robertson.
Hey everybody, happy Friday. You are tuned to May the Best Brand Win on Entertalk Media, the undisputed leader in music biz talk. I am Scott, your host, and a man who, after watching some of the impeachment proceedings in Washington, I really think our Congress needs a serious reboot in the butt. That is a lot of time wasting going on there, folks. That is, in case you ever aspire to be boy, someday I'd like to be a congressman. You look at these people and you're like, no, I don't want to be anything like those people. They seem dumber than dirt. I got to say, most of them. I don't know if it's like an act and they're pretending to be stupid, but it's hard to watch because there's so much stupid that comes flying out of their mouth. I'm like, aren't you Ivy League lawyers and crap? It does not speak well of the Ivy League legal people at all. There's a lot of stupid in that room, I got to say. Yeah, it's a huge circus. That's my unvarnished opinion. With me is Paul B., who is hanging with us in the studio. Paul, have you treated yourself to any of the impeachment?
No, not really. In my opinion, would have been too tarnished to share on the air.
It is.
I can't.
Impressive.
Yeah,
it's impressive. It's impressive that these folks, it's like you look at this and you're like, this is supposedly the best business people and legal professionals that our society has to offer. Man, I hope that's not true. I seriously hope there's some other people hiding somewhere because those people, man.
I don't think they necessarily got there by being the best.
Yeah, that could be. You always kind of think that. You're always like, oh, he's a congressman, and you think that's there's respect in that. But man, a lot of stupid. We got to rethink the way we do elections in this country and the way we let these people just sit up there and rot on our dime. That's ridiculous. Yeah. Rot is correct, by the way, too, because some of them are 1 million years old. They're 1 million.
Fossilized.
It's how the hell are you still walking around? It looks like a corpse with teeth. Anyway, that's what I'm saying. Enough politics. Enough of my disdain for our United States Congress. I should run for Congress.
You should.
I think I should run for Congress. I would be good at that because I would curse. I would freely curse, and I would just be straight. But I think everybody thinks that, and then you get there and it just corrupts you, right? It must.
Yeah, I always wonder about that. Either corrupts you or they take you in a room and they unseal some files for you and you get it now. Yeah. You're going to do as we tell you. Yeah.
There must be something like that, right? Because there's got to be some people that are damn, not everybody can be like that.
They bust out a reptilian shapeshifter from the back room and he tells you what's up and
this is what we really have in Area 51, and you're just scared, and then just you wet your pants at what you didn't know as a citizen.
Yep,
that's probably what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Well, fun. Oh man, so who am I? What do I do? And how do you reach me? So I am Scott. I run a public relations and marketing firm called Robertson Communications in Orange County, California. You reach me pretty easily by sending an email to scott@robertsoncom2ms.com. You can find me on Twitter @RobertsonCom. I'm always sharing a lot of client results and fun stories up there. And also Facebook.com/RobertsonCom. And also, I'm a certified story brand guide now in Donald Miller's story brand program. So what's fun is I can create even better brand stories, brand message, website wireframes, sales copy, PR, all kinds of good stuff to kind of do marketing the right way and help my clients win at marketing. That's what I do. This show is about educating the rest of everybody about some of the things that I think work and some of the things that I think are horrific and you should never do. And but this particular episode, you're lucky, you're smart, you tuned into a good one. We're going to talk about my recent trip to the desert. at CES 2020. You have to admire all the technology out there and its ability to solve all these problems. Many problems that we kind of didn't even know we had. And if you love tech, CES 2020 was definitely for you. But like I said, don't worry if you didn't make it out to the desert this time, because I was there for you, asking the questions that the mainstream media is too afraid to ask. They're not necessarily afraid to ask. They just they may not be in the right place on the floor to ask them. Things about mentally training dogs and protecting your packages from porch pirates. We're going to talk about all those kind of companies that I saw today. And we're going to hear directly from them. So this is going to be another Surefire Award winner. You turned into a good one. My overall overview of the show was that I'm always impressed at CES. I'm always impressed at the things that people are working on and the technological solutions that people kind of come up with, and the ways that they apply, technology that you knew could be used for one thing, and then the ways that can be applied to other things. And I saw everything from I saw this one really cool safety device that you put on a handgun you have at home, and then you click the little button and you flip, and it flips out, and it becomes a laser sight for the gun. So not only do you not have to, if you're doing like concealed carry with firearms, I don't do that, but I was talking to the guy and he was telling me about it, and he said, if you do concealed carry, you have to have a holster for the gun, but if you have this thing, you can just have it like in your waistband, and then when you pop it out and you flip this thing up, it's a laser sight that flips up and shows you where to shoot, like real life Call of Duty or something. So anyway, I thought that was cool. And you wouldn't necessarily think of that as something at CES, but I'm always kind of blown away at the stuff that I find there and see there, and hopefully you will be too. So without further ado, we've got a lot of interviews to get through. Let's hear from our first one up is an intelligent soccer ball that I found down in one of the halls from a company called Inside Coach. Hey there, it's Scott with May the Best Brand Win. I'm here with Nicholas, and we're looking at the Inside Coach connected soccer ball. So Nicholas, tell me what you got here and what you're trying to do at CES.
Sure. So we have IMU. It's a technology that we developed to go inside of sport balls. So think about like a Fitbit, but this technology is inserted in the ball. And then we track any activities on the ball, like your power kicks, spin on the ball, distance. Also, we have different exercises that keeps track of your touches on the ball, passes, the time you're spending with the ball, and things like that. And the idea is that we wanted to provide a tool to help kids between the ages of 12 to 18 in the development stages, so they can see the progress on their skills, like a lot of footwork or power shots and things like that. And that's the whole idea of Inside Coach.
Fantastic. And how much does the ball cost as compared to a regular soccer ball?
So we are having on sale right now on our website, InsideCoach.com, at $179 per unit. It comes with a wireless Qi charger, a USB cable, and you download our app for free. So the only thing you need really is to download the app, create an account, and then play with your ball. We keep track of that, all these activities that you perform with the ball. So we're currently in the market. So far we sold around 6,000 units in 20 different countries, and we just launched it like end of 2018. So we're getting some traction.
Great. And what do you do marketing-wise? My show's about marketing. So what are you doing marketing-wise to spread the word about the connected soccer ball?
So right now we just basically just do some ads on Facebook, really. We haven't really invest a lot on marketing. Mostly our customers coming from just searching online, or also we sell it directly to soccer academies or clubs, and mainly in Europe, really. This year is when we will try to do more bigger marketing campaigns and start going to more clubs here in U.S. and Canada.
Fantastic. Well, you've been listening to Nicholas from Inside Coach LLC, talking about the connected soccer ball. Thanks for the time, Nicholas. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, that was really cool. Checking out the intelligent soccer ball. Lots of products were about protecting kind of the safety of your home. And this next one from Owl Home digs into that a little bit more, see what they've got going on. Hey, this is Scott with May the Best Brand Win. I'm here with Menon from Owl Home. So, Menon, what are you guys doing at CES?
So we're building a smart home security device, all-in-one device. It can detect carbon monoxide, smoke, motion, sound, temperature, and humidity, all-in-one device, easy to install, and get notifications to your phone. Comes with the sensor and the hub. Hub has a customizable 1.8-inch display, and it shows temperature and humidity on the device itself, aside from seeing it inside of your mobile app. And it can work with existing carbon monoxide smoke alarms because we have the sound detection system. So it's able to classify sounds using AI and notify you of different sounds. So, for example, your fire alarm went off, or your dog's barking, or your car alarm went off, or baby crying, different things like that. So it can notify you of that, and also has a built-in siren that can go off when something is detected on the device. All of these you can control through the mobile app. You can see an activity of everything that happened when you were on vacation or something like that, and you can export this for insurance purposes, stuff like that.
So the plan would be you would replace your existing smoke detectors with these Owl Home detectors, and they can do a lot more than your smoke detectors can do.
Absolutely, yeah. So you'll install the Owl sensors in a room somewhere on the wall, over like beside a door or something like that, where it can detect them, overlook the room, and detect the motion at the same time. Be on the fire route, pretty much, so it can detect carbon monoxide and fire in the way.
Cool. Well, my show's all about marketing and branding. So, what do you doing to spread the word about Owl? What
we're doing to spread the word, we're doing social media marketing. That's one big thing. Promotions through that.
And you're here at CES, of course?
CES, yeah, it's been a big help for us. It helps us learn about what people think about our product. We're hearing a lot of positive feedback from a lot of people, so we wanted to kind of see if there's a future in this product, because it's like we're taking a different approach. If you notice ADT or Google Nest and stuff like that, what they're doing is like pretty much taking the traditional security system and attaching a Wi-Fi chip to it and selling it, right? Whereas we are taking a different approach, combining all these sensors in a different way, so that it makes it easy for people like ourselves, like who are lazy to manage these things all over the place, install the batteries, and control these things, and it's a pain, right? So it makes it easy, and you just replace these batteries and set it up, and you're set to go. And the pairing process is a breeze, because you just have to set up your hub initially with your Wi-Fi credentials, and then the sensor itself will automatically start pairing with your hub when you put it on the wall, so on the magnet plate, pretty much. So because it starts broadcasting to your hub, and then you'll see it right away inside of your app. And you can then pretty much just set it up, and you're good to go. Start feeding in data right away. Great.
Well, where can my audience find out more about your products?
You can visit us on our website, getowlhome.com, and you're on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. So, so that would be the best place. Our website is the best place.
Great. Well, you guys have been listening to Menon over here at CES. This is Scott Robertson with May the Best Brand Win. Thanks, Menon. Appreciate your time.
Thank you for giving me this opportunity.
Yeah, and so lots of cool stuff going on, to protect, new technologies to protect the home. Another one of those, checking out for water leaks and things like that, is a company called Hydrodynamics, and they're up next. Go. Hey, this is Scott with May the Best Brand Win. I'm here with Patrick Manning from Hydrodynamics from San Jose, California. So, Patrick, what are you introducing here at CES here at Eureka Park?
Hi, we're introducing a smart home leak detection device that also can map your house and give you real-time data as far as usage, device-oriented throughout your house.
Very cool. And so the problem that you're solving for people is what exactly?
Well, Scott, there is $10 billion in water damage checks written each year. It's the most likely occurrence of damage in the house, and we're trying to solve that problem proactively by giving the homeowners an opportunity to find these leaks and make repairs before they become catastrophic. We also have elements within our device that gives the homeowner alerts sent via Wi-Fi and text that will tell them there's anomalies and give them an opportunity to shut off their water and call a licensed plumber to fix the problem.
That's very interesting. So You and you're just launching here at the show. What are you sort of kind of basing the brand around?
We're basing the brand around water conservation and the ability for the homeowner to take control of their water in their house and be able to, conserve, build in models that can actually save water. And that's our most precious resource. And I think that's our job as humans, to get together and try to find more efficient ways to use water.
Fantastic. And this is your first show and everything, but what do you plan to do to spread the word about what you're doing with Hydrodynamics?
Great, Scott. Yeah, we're going to be at NAHB next week, KBIS, Kitchen Bath Show. And we've also put together a distribution agreement with Pexlock. So we're planning to come to market about the end of March, and we will be in Home Depots, Lowe's, Ace, True Value, Menards, Do It Best, Ferguson's, and many other retailers throughout the U.S.
Well, fantastic. Well, you heard it here, folks. I've been talking with Patrick Manning from Hydrodynamics. Thanks. If people want to find out more about your product and what's going on with Hydrodynamics, where would they go?
Hi, Scott. They would go to hydrodynamics.ai.
All right, awesome. You guys heard it here first. Go there and check out the Flow Sentinel network-connected water control unit. Thanks very much, Patrick.
Thank you very much, Scott. Talk to you soon.
Yeah, very cool. And this next one, which we may not have time to get through the whole thing, but I'm going to try. Porch pirates are a big deal, right? You see, people, dropping off Amazon packages. You hear about people going up there and you see the videos of people following the UPS truck and following the FedEx truck and then stealing after. This next company is called Delivery Pod, and they have a bit of a solution for that. Hey, this is Scott with May the Best Brand Win. I'm here with Mark Morris from Delivery Pod from Toronto, Canada. So, Mark, what is Delivery Pod, and what problem are you trying to solve?
So Delivery Pod is the solution to porch piracy. As we're aware, it's an endemic. Right now, every single story in the news, particularly given that we just finished Christmas, seems to be about how packages are being stolen off people's porches, people following around Amazon as they deliver, and everyone complaining about the fact that they're not getting what it is that they've paid for. There had to have been a solution, and that's what Delivery Pod is about. Delivery Pod is something for a residential homeowner to put on their porch and functions as I know this is a podcast, so we're not seeing the picture, but functions as a
go ahead and pause it there, Paul.
Really for your package.
We're going to come back and hear a little bit more from Delivery Pod after the break. You're listening to Best Brand Win on Entertalk Media.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al Di Meola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?
Hi, I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Entertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Make this your vinyl night. I'm John J.R. Robinson, and every week, music creation comes alive through stories, experiences, and sounds when vinyl records filled our hearts and minds. My friends and I share our tips and techniques used in creation of iconic tracks for recording artists such as Michael Jackson, Eric Clapton, Quincy Jones, and Steve Winwood, to name a few. Vinyl has emerged hot, and the soul of vinyl defines art and passion which burns deepest at night. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on EntertalkRadio.com.
May the best brand win with Scott Robertson's Music Biz Marketing Strategies. Now, here's your host, Scott Robertson.
Hey everybody, happy Friday. You are still tuned to May the Best Brand Win on Intertalk Media, the undisputed leader in music biz talk. And I am Scott, your host. We've been talking about CES. Paul's with us. He's learning new things about technology for his dwelling, his home, and his connected soccer ball. Fun things like that.
Yeah.
How you doing, Paul?
Good. I'm waiting to hear the second part of that the Amazon theft thing.
Yes, exactly. That's coming up. In segment 3, we're going to dig through a few more interviews, and we're going to pick up Delivery Pod where we left off. But first, we're going to dig into who's winning and losing this week in marketing. And it's as always, it's quite a good list. So first of all, we should probably talk about Mr. Peanut. On Wednesday of this week, Planters confirmed that it has indeed killed off its spokes nut, the 104-year-old monocle-wearing Mr. Peanut, and they will be airing a funeral for the nut in the third quarter of the Super Bowl. The nut met his crushing demise while saving the lives of his friends, and basically the Peanut Mobile kind of flipped. If you haven't seen the video, it kind of they are avoiding an armadillo, and it flips over, and 2 of his friends are hanging from a tree branch, and it can't support all 3 of their weight. And Mr. Peanut sacrifices himself so that his friends can still hang onto the branch. Very, very heroic, very interesting. I didn't realize until I just was reading some other recounts of the whole video that one of his friends in the video is Wesley Snipes. I didn't even realize that was Wesley Snipes. I got to say, I was like, yeah, because you're focused on Mr. Peanut, that kind of thing. But it actually is Wesley Snipes, and he is there hanging onto the branch. So anyway, I think it's definitely winning. I think you have Mr. Peanut as like the cornerstone of your brand, for so long, and being able to kind of, awaken this sense of, kind of appreciation, for Mr. Peanut now that he's gone. And I think it's a brilliant way to advertise on something like the Super Bowl, because people will be, anticipating it and expecting it. And I think that, I think it's nothing but good stuff for them. They also generated a ton of press and social media buzz on the thing. It's funny because they changed Mr. Peanut's Twitter account. He actually had one to the estate of Mr. Peanut. I thought that was pretty funny. And encouraging lots of people to pay their respects with the hashtag RIPeanut. So anyway, they got, the Late Show covered it, Jeopardy covered it, in one of their questions this week. Really, a lot of interesting kind of PR placements, and really kind of, and of course it was trending on Twitter for a good long time. So I think that's a win. I think that's a win for, congratulations to Planters for being able to pull that off. And I think we're all looking forward to the Super Bowl to see what the funeral for Mr. Peanut looks like too. So I'm going to say all kinds of winning. I heard a lot of people in the kind of advertising and PR communities sort of poo-pooing this and saying, oh, well, that's not something they should do, and it's they should continue to use Mr. Peanut. But here's the thing: it's like you weren't even thinking about Mr. Peanut until they killed him, right? And now you are, and now we are. So I think that's a win for marketing, and they could still use the image of Mr. Peanut. He's not dead. It's not a real thing, right? So anyway, that's what I'm saying. So anyway, that's what's going on with Mr. Peanut. I say winning. I'm putting winning on that. Google's losing. They're paying up to $200 million to settle the FTC YouTube investigation. They've agreed to pay $200 million to resolve the investigation over alleged violations of children's privacy law. No, Google wouldn't do such a thing. according to a person familiar with the matter. I like news stories that quote a person familiar with the matter. I mean, that could be anybody. But the FTC approved the settlement, and basically the FTC is cracking down on Silicon Valley privacy violations, as we've talked about. Facebook last month paid $5 billion to resolve an expansive agency probe into its data practices. Obviously, now with the California Consumer Privacy Act in full effect here in California, it's going to be interesting to see, how much money the state of California can squeeze out of Google and Facebook. I mean, the law was meant for them, so it's going to be interesting to see how much money they squeeze out of them at first, or what that settlement looks like. The state of California is not going to miss a trick to squeeze all the money that it can for, probably nefarious purposes. There are a bunch of scumbags up in Sacramento too. And speaking of scumbags, let's talk about the Grammys this week. So, the Grammys, geez. So a few days before the big broadcast this weekend, they are dealing with all kinds of PR fallout. Neil Portnow, the former CEO of the Recording Academy, has responded to allegations made against him by current CEO President Deborah Dugan in this Equal Opportunity Employment Commission complaint that she filed against the organization. But she claims after she accepted the job, she was told of an alleged rape allegation against Portnow. And now she alleges in May, before she assumed the post, that Academy Board Chair John Papo asked her to sign off on a $750,000 consulting deal for Portnow after he left in July of 2019. So these guys are dealing with just a complete poop storm going down, in the Grammy Awards. Also, her, she's been on the media tour from hell, if you're the Grammys, because she was on NBC Nightly News. She was on Good Morning America. She was on every news station you can see, basically saying that the awards ceremony is rigged, that it's a boys' club, that, just all, if you're the Grammys, all kinds of stuff that you don't want to see happen in the week of you doing your big broadcast and your big moneymaker for the year. Do people care or not if the Grammys are rigged? I'm not sure they do. I'm not sure most people know who votes on the Grammys, but of course, us in the industry, we understand that it's studio owners and people, the Academy is a lot of big recording studios, and, not to be a big spoiler alert here, but big studios are going to vote for bigger records that are recorded there where they make a bunch of money off of it, and where they get a chance to spend a lot of time, in their craft and that kind of thing. And it's been that way all of my life, right? It's been that way forever. So to kind of jump out and say the ceremony is rigged and this kind of thing, everybody in the industry is like, yeah, we know. I mean, yeah, that's who votes, right? None of that was a surprise to me, I got to say. But anyway, interesting. The rape allegations against Neil Portnow certainly are, very surprising and horrible, and hope, they can figure all that out. But the Grammys are doing all kinds of losing this week. No matter who wins in the ceremony, the Grammys have already lost because of this nasty battle with their suspended CEO, who continues to show up in public venues with her attorney and just makes them look stupid. I mean, every single time it just kind of gets worse and worse and worse and worse. I did have somebody, ask me, how, Scott, how would you recommend that you handle this? Here's how I recommend that you handle every crisis situation. The truth. The actual 100% factual truth. The actual factual truth. Don't get creative. Don't make crap up. Don't apologize. Don't do any of that garbage. Get to the truth. Get to the truth and shut it until you have the truth. Right? That's my advice. You can take that, bronze it, put it, wherever you need to put it. But that's how I handle crisis communications. And it is actually not rocket science. When you make up a bunch of spin and a bunch of BS and stuff, it comes back and hits you like a Aussie boomerang, smacking you right in the side of the head. Don't ever do that. It is morally wrong and it's stupid. So it's both of those things added up together. Don't ever do it. That's my advice. And if I was handling PR for the Grammys, we'd be telling the truth. We'd be telling the truth. And we'd be saying things like, the ceremony's not rigged, but it's voted on by a bunch of studio owners. And hello, intelligent people of the world, who the hell do you think they vote for? You know, give me a break. So that's what I would say, at least. So anywho's, Grammys are losing. Oh, man. Journalism's losing because Jim Lehrer, died this week. The PBS NewsHour co-founder, the Manila Lehrer Report, known for tenacity and dedication to delivering the news. He died this week at the age of 85. Really, I mean, in a world that doesn't have many journalists left, and that's the honest to God truth, I got to say, Jim was one. Right. He was a giant in journalism. He was absolutely a, kind of upstanding moral, when you think about sort of the principles of what journalism used to be, it doesn't really exist anymore. But what journalism used to be, it was definitely Jim. I went to the University of Missouri School of Journalism. Jim graduated from that school as well. He's one of those people that the University of Missouri J School puts up there as one of these huge guys and huge examples. And I believe all of that. Watching his coverage and watching the way that he attacked a story and doing things. The world's gonna miss it, man. I mean the journalism world, man, we could really use somebody like Jim Lehrer, but maybe his time was over anyway. So, but we're all losing, and journalism's certainly losing with Jim's passing this week. Here's an interesting one so a Kansas man. It's not really about marketing, but it just sort of caught my eye. A Kansas man asked a judge to let him engage in a sword fight with his ex-wife and her lawyer. Basically, he has requested that an Iowa judge grant him a trial by combat that he can engage in a sword fight with his ex-wife and her attorney. He says that these people have destroyed him legally, and he wants to destroy them physically, and a trial by combat. So here's the quote. And by the way, this is an actual quote. You can check this story out. This was on Fox News about a week ago. So here's the actual quote. To this day, trial by combat has never been explicitly banned or restricted as a right in these United States. Trial by combat. I love it. So he said it was used as recently as 1818 in a British court. The couple had been engaged in court disputes over custody and visitation, as well as property tax payments. And basically, the judge argued that because the duel could end in death, such ramifications likely outweigh those of property tax and custody issues. You don't see this often, gotta say. And you don't see, having to write about a trial by combat, which isn't something that it doesn't, that we're probably not going to allow, at least not until the world, continues to digress until we reach a Beyond Thunderdome sort of scenario. But you got to appreciate the tenacity, right? The guy wants to engage. He's like, let's solve this whole divorce and this whole property tax thing with a sword fight. I mean, it would certainly be fast, right? I mean, how long could it last? That's what I'm saying. I don't know if that's winning or losing. I think that's it's losing, or it's winning for creativity. And I would say probably losing if it was allowed. If it was allowed, we would probably be a stepping back as society. Let's move on. Instagram user growth in the United States has dropped a bit to single digits. I always like to report this stuff. So growth is going to be at about 4.5% in 2020. They originally thought it was going to be 5.4%, and then in 2021 it's going to be 3.2%. really contributing to the overall slower growth is the fact that older age groups are not joining the platform as quickly as anticipated. And also they have competitors from the Chinese-owned video network, system of TikTok that we've talked about a bit on this show. I got a lot of questions. I was recently out at a few trade shows, and I get questions about TikTok, and they say, are any of your clients really doing it? Not really. One big reason is I don't have a lot of trust of putting a lot of my clients' assets and their information and that sort of thing in something that's owned by the Chinese state government. They're not our friends. They're actually our enemies, and they're not sitting around at home going, I wonder how we can make the lives of Americans better, right? That is not happening. And they've, there's a lot of bad stuff going on, but like I said, loading up all your marketing assets into a big database that's fed into the Chinese national government is probably not a strategy that I'm going to recommend anytime soon. I mean, dip your toe in it if you want to, but with a whole boatload of caution. That is a completely different animal over there, and who the hell knows what they're going to do with all the data? I guarantee it's going to be something bad, So anyway, oh man, we got time for one more, I think. There was a really interesting social media post. So police have warned of a highly addictive substance that are hitting the streets, Girl Scout cookies. Very good Facebook post. The Ravenna Police Department in Ohio has warned that the substance goes by a variety of street names like Thin Mints, S'mores, and Lemonades. The quote from their post said that these items are distributed by strong, smart, fearless young women who will lure you in with their story and get you hooked. The post states, we know many people think I will just get one box, but one box turns into two, and two turns into five, and the next thing you know, you are hiding Thin Mints in the freezer. The group behind the substance has an online presence and even provides those seeking a fix with an easy way to search for the nearest cookie dealer. I think that is, I thought that was really funny. I thought that was really funny, really creative, really fun way to support the Girl Scouts, really, and it made a lot of headlines as well. The police actually set up a disposal location at their department. They said, drop the cookies off 24/7, and we will properly dispose of all of your Girl Scout cookies for you. I thought that was that deserves kudos, man. I mean, you can write anything if you're doing the social media feeds for a police department, but that one is clever and deserves the kudos for it. So anyway, in conclusion, that's who's winning and losing this week, folks. Come on back, and we're going to hear more from Delivery Pod and a bunch of other folks I ran into at CES. See you in a few.
I'm Tim Dolbear, the host of Sound Experience on Entertalk Radio. Each week, I talk with top professional audio engineers, producers, musicians, and the manufacturers that make the tools that we use in the studio each and every day. From capturing the perfect take to mastering your final release, and the tools and how the pros use them, we are going to dive deep into their process and learn from their experience. I look forward to you joining us each week on Sound Experience with me, your host, Tim Dolbear.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
Make this your vinyl night. I'm John J.R. Robinson, and every week, music creation comes alive through stories, experiences, and sounds when vinyl records filled our hearts and minds. My friends and I share our tips and techniques used in creation of iconic tracks for recording artists such as Michael Jackson, Eric Clapton, Quincy Jones, and Steve Winwood, to name a few. Vinyl has emerged hot, and the soul of vinyl defines art and passion which burns deepest at night. Tune in every Wednesday at 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on EntertalkRadio.com.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al Di Meola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?
May the best brand win with Scott Robertson's Music Biz Marketing Strategies. Now, here's your host, Scott Robertson.
Hey everybody, happy Friday. You are still tuned to May the Best Brand Win on Entertalk Media, the undisputed leader in music biz talk. I am still Scott, and we just talked about winning and losing. Lots of stuff going on there. Oh man, but we should probably jump back into some CES interviews so I can get all these in here. We were just hearing in segment 1 from Delivery Pod, which is a very cool way to stop porch piracy from going on. Paul, why don't you cue it up and let's pick it up with Delivery Pod, please.
But it functions as a lockbox, really, for your packages. And it is designed in a smart way that is both appealing to consumers, because it really does look like an Apple-esque sort of product, but also is something that will allow couriers to understand how to implicitly use the device. It's had a great success so far in our tests. We've had a great show here at CES, and I'm really happy to start seeing these. I'm going to be very happy to start seeing these things on people's porches as soon as next month.
Very cool. So what I'm looking at, so basically it's a lockbox that you put on your porch. It has an app, so it's intelligent. It kind of tells you when when the courier comes up, it's unlocked. Then they put it in, it locks, and then your app kind of tells you what's there. What kinds of things are you guys going to do to spread the word, marketing wise, about Delivery Pod?
So we're Canadian-based, and in Canada, actually, we've spread the word quite a bit in the past several weeks, particularly given that it was just Christmas. Quite a few news stories were done on us, and as a viable solution, we got quite a bit of traction up there. But of course, being successful in Canada means very little when you compare our size to our southern brethren. And there's a robust marketing strategy that we are now about to employ. So one of the things that one of our efforts, because I know that this is a marketing show, one of our efforts that we need to be very cognizant of is the idea that a lot of people don't understand from a picture how high quality our device is. Associating our device with quality tech is really a critical component of us moving forward. To that end, we have established relationships with some of the biggest retailers to get into their smart home sections, and we are going to affiliate these devices directly with those units. Now, the reason we're doing that, because we have a direct-to-consumer sales channel, but the reason we're doing that is specifically because of the bleed effect, so that consumers will start seeing this as congruent with their Google Homes, with their iPods, or anything else on the planet.
Yeah, absolutely. It's definitely an idea whose time's come. So where would my audience find out more about your product?
So we're available at deliverypod.com, and you'll be able to see that it is available for sale now. We have our first units currently being shipped over from our Chinese production facilities as we speak, and we'll be distributing our first units in March. So an order now will net a delivery pod in your home in the near future.
Fantastic. Well, you guys have been listening to Mark Morris from Delivery Pod here at CES. Thanks very much for the time, Mark.
Scott, I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah, that's a cool one. That's it's an interesting thing. Talk about a problem that that we didn't have, and now we have, and now there's a technology solution for it. There you go. The next one is a company called Vivu, and they have, the messaging just really caught my eye. I'll let you hear it for yourself. I can't even really describe it. Here you go. Hey, this is Scott with May the Best Brand Win here at CES, and I'm here with Mireille Taifun with a company called Vivu, and they have some really interesting messaging. So, Mireille, tell me what you have here.
So, hi everyone. I'm Mirai, the co-founder and the CEO of Vivu. Vivu is a wellness application that helps you to make the best decisions based on your body's needs. And we collect the body data with a simple urine test that you can easily pee at home and take a picture with your mobile app to get your results instantly.
I love your messaging on your sign here. It says, "Pee on a stick, get wellness advice. It's that simple with Vivu."
That's right. And you can track so many things like your hydration, your pH, your white blood cells, or immunity levels, even urinary tract infections and ketones.
Very nice. And then you can share that data, I guess, with your healthcare provider, your doctor and stuff?
Not yet. You will be able to share in a few months as a data packages, secure data packages with your healthcare providers.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. So you guys are launching here at the big show, and what's been the response for peeing on a stick and all that?
So we launched 6 months ago, and we have almost 7,000 users already. But CES was really beneficial for us to meet people like Walgreens, CVS, like retailers, Amazon, like other partners. So it was a great success for us.
Very, very cool. And my show is all about marketing and communication. So what are you guys doing to spread the word about this unique thing you got going on?
So we're partnering with related markets players, I will say. In our space, there are wellness subscription boxes. And I would recommend this to everybody. Let's say you're making a yoga mat and there are like yoga subscription boxes, or you're making gadget, an electronic gadget, and there are electronics boxes. So when you partner with them, they purchase your product from you and give it to your target audience, early adopters. That's how we started, and we spent $0 marketing dollars to reach 7,000 users.
Oh, that's very smart. Very, very cool. And of course, you're here at CES. So is it worth it? Are you guys getting your investment back, or is it worth your investment? Are you meeting some good people?
We were lucky we get this place for a really, really cheap price. But so we already made our money back for sure. Yeah.
Awesome. And where can people find out more about what you got going on?
Yeah, so you can just go vivu.io, or you can just follow Vivu app in Instagram and learn more about Vivu.
Wonderful. Well, thanks very much, Mirai. Really appreciate your time. And you guys heard it here first at CES, so thanks very much. Appreciate it.
Thank you. See you later. Bye.
All kinds of technology can be used to do weird stuff, should you want to. Now, this next one was one of my favorites. Really interesting company called Guardian Lifeline, and they are trying to solve a problem that is critically important. So I'll just I'll let them take it from here. Hey, this is Scott with May the Best Brand Win, and I'm here with David Bush from Guardian Lifeline at CES. So, David, you guys solve a really interesting problem with your technology device. What are you up to at CES?
Yeah, you bet. Drowning is the number one killer of children under 14 years old, and you would think technology could do something about that. We discovered about 14 months ago a product in Zurich, Switzerland, that was not been marketed, but it's a wearable wrist computer that is about the size of a sports watch, and it's set. You can set it in whatever parameters you'd like, depth and time, and should you exceed those parameters, it emits both a visual and audio alarm. So basically anyone within about a 50-yard radius will know that someone's in trouble, and it actually can interrupt a drowning.
Wow. That's so cool. And you said this is kind of the coming out party for this product in North America. How has the response been at CES for you?
Overwhelming. I mean, a lot of hot air, but also some very wonderful, thoughtful interest. Amazon Select and Amazon Launchpad have both come by and said, we want to feature your product. So I'm flattered with that and a couple other things. But again, as you said, it does solve problems, Scott, that just, no one's addressed it like they should, and it's dumbfounding to us.
Yeah, absolutely. So my show is about marketing and branding. So what kind of things are we looking at this year in the marketing mix for the Guardian Lifeline product?
Yeah, we've got really several channels, but the big one is 10.6 million pool owners, residential pool owners. So moms and kids, they're the ones that are the primary consumer market. So we'll get at them through Amazon, Facebook, traditional blogs, etc. But then secondly, the B2B side of it, for example, the Four Seasons resorts want to make this as a value add for their prestigious guests that come. So, hey, kids, strap this on and go have fun. And, again, it doesn't take the place of supervision, but it gives that extra layer of security and protection so mom and dad can just kind of relax a little bit more than they would otherwise.
Wonderful. And, David, how would my audience find out more about this product?
Yeah, it'd be an honor to hear from anybody. It's I'm David Bush at david@guardlives.com, david@guardlives.com, or safewristband.com.
Safewristband.com. Awesome. Well, thanks for spending some time with us on the show here, David, and enjoy the rest of CES. Thanks very much.
God bless you, Scott. Thank you.
Yeah, really, really cool product there. Wishing them all the success in the world with that. That is, you could save even one kid, from that, and their parents from that trauma. That would be really something. So, anyway, really cool one. Next up, we got Home Siren, and they secure your house from all kinds of different hacker attacks. Really interesting form factor on this product, and a really cool product too. Hey, this is Scott with May the Best Brand Win, and I am here with Eric from Home Sirens. So, Eric, tell me about Home Sirens and what you guys are trying to do here at Eureka Park and CES.
Yes, sure. So the problem that we're trying to cover is basically that we understand that in the home environment, there's a lot of IoT, a lot of devices, a lot of smart devices, but they're very vulnerable to internet hackers and attacks. So what we developed was a simple solution that home users can connect into their house, plug in before the wireless router, turn it on, and it auto-configs itself. And what I mean by that, it turns on and watches your internet and blocks any hackers or attacks before your wireless router. Therefore, you can buy any smart home and investments, plug them into your internet, and know that Home Sirens is protecting you at all times.
Cool. And the device itself looks like a little house.
Exactly. It's a little house. It has a quad-core PCs full bred into it. It's also a touchscreen. It's basically set up so we can handle the high-speed internet, a gig throughput, and we are fast analytics, artificial intelligence, IPS, firewall. It's really enterprise-grade technologies, but for the home environment.
Very, very cool. And, my show's about marketing and branding. What are you sort of basing the brand around?
I'm basing the brand around the security of the home. So I'm using the shield, I'm using the home emblems and the diagrams to show that there's a house, there's internet, and there's a need to protect it. So we need to have almost a visual display to say, look, we're going after the internet. That's why protection, that's why we're designed the way we are.
Awesome. And what does the marketing mix look like for something like Home Sirens? What are you guys doing marketing-wise?
Yeah, so the marketing, we're really just starting off pretty small just because right now we're seeing a lot of trending in the news where people are actually becoming more aware of hackers and attacks being into the cameras. So we're going to kind of piggyback off of that and really start to do some basic public announcements to really ride off that news to say, listen, we understand there's a problem, we have a solution, and here's how we can cover you.
Fantastic. And where would people find out more about your product?
They can find out more about my product on www.homesirens.com.
Fantastic. Well, you guys heard it here. I've been talking with Eric Barnett from Home Sirens. Thanks very much for the time, Eric.
Thank you very much, Scott. Have a great one.
Yeah, very cool product there. Up next, we've got something that's kind of weird. I didn't get a perfect interview with these folks, but their solution was cool. It's called GoGo. And basically what they say is that your dogs are sitting at home all day, right? And they have a device that automatically turns on your TV and it gives your dog a mental workout. Yeah, straight up. And then if they do the mental workout correctly, then it spits out a treat, right? So your dog is sort of like now conditioned to when the TV turns on, they're like, all right, time for a mental workout and really time for what I really want, which is the treat. I didn't get a perfect interview with these guys, but let's pick it up where it comes in, and you can hear the doctor that sort of invented it and some of my questions for GoGo.
That if it's going well, then you will give out 30 flyers an hour, but we were giving out double that. So we ran out of flyers the second day. And also our Indiegogo just launched, and it's going really well, and I think that is because of CES.
Oh, fantastic. Well, it's a very unique, interesting idea. Very cool. Where would people find out more about your product and your idea?
Yeah, right now they should go to Indiegogo, but of course also on our homepage. It's go-dogo.com.
GoDogo.
But also we call Indiegogo is now Indigo Dogo.
Oh, very cool. Well, thanks for spending some time with me, Dr. Jarmer. Again, you've been talking with GoGo, and you can find out more on Indiegogo about their mental workout for dogs. Thanks for spending the time with us.
Thank you, Scott.
Yeah, that's an interesting one. You want to check out that one on your own. That is fascinating. Spend some time with that. That's a real thing. They're working on that. So anyway, next up we got a company called Sensory X, and they had a really cool virtual reality piano to demonstrate some of the cool technological advances in VR gloves and tactile response. So they're next. Here we go. Hey, this is Scott with May the Best Brand Win. I'm here with Fabian Venner from Sensory X AG from Switzerland. They've got a cool demo here at CES where they're showing a VR piano. So Fabian, tell me about that.
So the VR piano is really to show off the dexterity of the fingers that we track. We are the only ones with integrated 3D tracking in VR gloves. You might have seen a lot of VR gloves before, but they don't provide you with any 3D tracking. So we have sub-millimeter accuracy of the wrist and also very precise finger movements, spreading, all degrees of freedom. And, it's really fun to play around with it. We have different demos in here. You can paint, you can do some target practice with the gun. You can also eat a virtual dinner. Yeah, just, have a look on our website. You can see different videos on that.
Great. And you're just launching here at CES. How's the show been for you?
We've had a lot of interest, also because we're exhibiting with a flight simulator, precision flight controls from California. And there's a lot of interest from all different sectors. That's been really good for us. It's the second time we've attended.
Fantastic. And if people wanted to find out more about your VR gloves and your system, where would they do that?
You can go to www.sensorix.com, and that's also an online store.
Okay, great. You guys have been listening to Fabian with Sensory X from Switzerland, from Eureka Park here at CES. This is Scott with May the Best Brand Win. Thanks, Fabian. Appreciate your time.
Thank you. Have a good day.
Oh, very cool. That was really neat when you watch that and see what they can do, with the VR gloves these days. It's pretty cool, pretty impressive, I have to say. My last one I'm not going to have time to quite get into, but I wanted to do a quick plug for Easy Outlet. That's a company that I interviewed, and they specialize in trying to get power to areas of your living room very easily. Even if you, it's kind of like it's like a power strip, but it's designed, better than that, and it's more like high end, and really they're recognizing that you need power in various areas of your living room, and so that's really what they're going to talk about. So what? Make sure you go check out EasyOutlet.com, by the way, for that one. So what have we learned today? We've learned that the capacity for mankind's technological advancement really seems limitless, but really only a small number of these companies are going to make it. And the difference is marketing. Who has the clearest message? Who has the best engagement? Who is working to build relationships rather than just sell? That's what's going to determine what tech makes it out of the trade show floor and into your life. So let's use that power for good and make sure the best brands win. That's it for me, folks. I'll be back next week with my recap from the 2020 NAMM show. Talk to you later. You know what's all around you every waking moment of your life? Marketing. You're choking on it. I'm Scott Robertson, and when it comes to strategic PR, branding, and marketing, I've seen it all. And actually, I'm still seeing it because bad marketing never sleeps. Join me each week on May the Best Brand Win, right here on Entertalk Radio, and learn how to make the marketing for your brand unforgettable.
Hi, this is Tim Dolbear from Eclectica Studios. I'm a full-time mixing and recording engineer. I work with Grammy winners, labels, and indie artists, using state-of-the-art digital mixing and restoration tools and the very best in analog gear. Really, though, it's my ability to bring tracks to life and fulfill your vision for your music. This has made me sought after by producers and artists worldwide. So spend your time working on music and not chasing a mix down a rabbit hole. Go to timdolbear.com and check out our free one-song mix offer.
Are you serious about your music? Are you ready to run with the big dogs? The experts at Pitbull Audio have the gear to get you into the game. From leading manufacturers like Mesa Boogie, Fender, Pioneer, and American Audio. To sound your best, you need the best. Pitbull Audio can deliver in rehearsal, on stage, and into the big time. Dropping beats, shredding guitar, or making the crowd roar. Whatever you dream, Pitbull Audio can help make it happen. We are Pitbull Audio. We want you to play it loud. PitbullAudio.com.
This is Jackie Bertoni from Jackie's Groove. Come join me weekly on my journey through the music business as I take you behind the velvet rope, interviewing industry notables such as Al DiMeola, Michael McDonald, and Al Jarreau, to name but a few. Listen to their stories on being in the studios recording #1 hits and onto the stages throughout the globe. Allow me to be your music historian. You can hear me live every Monday at 2 p.m. and every Wednesday at 12 noon Pacific Standard Time or 24/7 on jackiesgroove.com. Ready to get your groove on?